So we're going to talk about the games we played this week, everybody. One of which is a game that we played in beta form. I feel like we're at a positive and a negative on this one, but that is the Back 4 Blood beta, which is the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead 2 from Turtle Rock Studios, the creators of Left 4 Dead.
Lukewarm.
That's
where we're at.
So the open beta came out. Actually, we played the early access beta, and now the open beta is online. I think till tomorrow, I believe. So it's something you can still play.
Dang.
If you want to jump back into it.
Jump back into that.
Yeah. By the time you listen to this podcast, it's already over. But in the current state we are on the weekend recording, that's where it is. But yeah, so we're into Back 4 Blood, and it's basically it's like Left 4 Dead. You know, it's got a similar kind of concept where you drop into level, you have the different characters you choose, you get your guns, you go and fight zombies. There's special zombies, which we'll get into here in a little bit. And then you go to the safe house, and then you go through different rounds. But there's a lot of things, like detailed things that have changed. But the core formula, I feel like, remains there. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Run
around, shoot the zombies.
Yeah. So first thing I want to talk about, I guess, is just some of the new key features that are here that weren't in the past one. That is this weird, like, open area lobby space, the card system, and then the
supply run or something. You get supplies.
That's what it was. Yeah,
every time you complete a match, and then you can use that to upgrade like this challenge card, like you would see in Avengers, and then you'd get cool new stuff.
Yeah, it's like cosmetic things or whatever. Yeah, it's kind of it's basically
extra
like
cards.
Basically like your challenges for your game, but it's designed a little bit different, where it's like you unlock like a tier, and then you go through and level up in like a 5-tier period, and you get like something special each tier unlock. But the card system, I think, is the biggest like new thing that was not at all in Left 4 Dead before, and it's like perks that so think of, if you've ever played Hearthstone, you're building a card deck, and that card deck is the pool of cards that could potentially be used in your gameplay. So as you unlock new cards, you build up this card deck, and you build a deck that you feel is most attuned to your gameplay style. So it can be, maybe you want to be a damage dealer, you can like focus on like damage dealing types of things, or you want to do like more heal stuff for yourself or other players, you can do that. This system's kind of similar in that you acquire these cards as you're playing through. Is it through the milestones that we were unlocking them, or is it through something else that we unlock those cards, like new cards?
At the beginning of a round, you get to...
Well, that's how you like apply from your card deck, but how do you unlock new ones that you can add to your
it's
deck?
from the challenge.
Okay, so the challenges give you cards that you could add to your deck. But, so you build out your deck that can have like different... you could basically like create a class of your decks and build different decks out for different styles, and I'm sure there's gonna be like hundreds of cards later on that you can eventually have, and all these cards have perks like plus 10% stamina, or when
more
you
ammo.
Get more ammo, or if you get less than half health, like you do more damage, or all these different like perk and upgrades and stuff like that,
which is a nice concept.
It is.
And at the beginning of each round, like you randomly get a card, or you get to choose from like 5 different cards, so you can kind of, but it's randomized, so you don't know what you're going to get, and hopefully it's something you want, but you can't go wrong with stamina, you can't go wrong with health, you can't go wrong with more ammo, because all those seem to be in short supply.
So you build out these card decks, and then once you build them out, you use them inside the game. So what I thought, I guess stupidly, was that when you go in the game, it's like all these cards are going to be applied to your like game.
That's what I thought.
Because you're limited at like 17, I think, or something like that, is all you can add to your deck. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, these are all going to be like always applied. Like in the game, you have like one that you start with, and you pick from a random deck. And then you also have like a character ability based on the character that you chose. And I think what everybody chose. Every character has an ability that they've like applied to the whole team, I believe. And then you have your card that you select for that round. Then you go through that round, you get to the safe house, the next round starts, then you can pick a different card. So you're ultimately picking one card at a time as you progress through this chain of missions to build out buffs for your character that are randomly pulled or randomly selected from your deck that you've established. So it's kind of interesting because you aren't like all powerful at the beginning, but you grow more power as time goes on.
And everything gets harder as you go on.
And everything gets very hard. Yeah. Which leads me to like the mission structure. So used to be we had one level and it was broken up in like 4 missions, right?
Yeah. 4 missions, 3 safe houses.
Yeah. 3 safe houses. And this time it's broken up into acts, and each act is 8 levels split in half. So like chapters within the act. It's like a chapter 1, which is 4, and there's like a break point where there's like some kind of climactic shift, and then another 4, and there's, I guess that means 3 safe houses per thing, right?
Yeah. Per chapter.
So what do you think of this like new structure?
I like it with the caveat that I don't even know what's a caveat. It's probably not the right term. Like how many acts are we going to have? Is this going to be 3 acts with 8 missions in each? Or are we going to have 4 acts? Are we going to have 5 acts? Like, I would like 8 acts.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen. Having 4 or 8 missions in all of those, like I could see 4 acts with 8 missions in each of them. That's probably about, heck, if we're lucky, it's probably what we're going to get. And you have 3 redos, and after that, I mean, heck, you can get to the last mission, and someone goes down, or everyone goes down. Well, then you have to start the whole mission chain over again from the very beginning. From what we played, there seemed to be like no checkpoint. Maybe there was a checkpoint. We didn't get to that. I don't know. Well, I guess it doesn't. No, there's no checkpoint with the redos. Like you get 3 redos and that's it, and you have to carry that all the way through the 8 missions.
Yeah.
Which initially, the way it's broken up into chapters, we thought the redos might get reset at the end or when you get to the midpoint, but that didn't happen. So I do appreciate the challenge, and I see the kind of gameplay loop here. I mean, you want to outload your deck with the best cards possible. How you're going to run your characters, which cards are the best to survive the longest, and having to keep all that in mind. Like it's exciting and stuff, and it still has that Left 4 Dead feel, but I don't know. That's why I'm kind of lukewarm. I don't know if I absolutely love what this is giving us right now.
Yeah,
it's different.
Yeah,
but it might be. Maybe it's too different. But the question is, how far or how different do they have to make it so they don't get sued by Valve, but also make it new and entertaining and bringing Left 4 Dead to current times?
Right. Yeah, that's a tricky part because like in playing the 8 acts or the 8 chapters or whatever, I was really surprised how long it takes. I mean, it's if you want to like, I don't feel like it's something where you could sit down and power through all 8 of them, but I mean, I want to say we played like 2.5 hours, I would say, trying to beat through all of them. And if you die a couple times in different missions or like lose your continues, then you have to like go back to a checkpoint. Because I mean, once you finish like a chapter, you're able to then that unlocks that as like a starting point. So if you do die 6 chapters in, you can go back to like chapter 6 or chapter 5 and start there, but you don't have all the continues, I don't think, from what you would get if you started from ground zero.
Yeah.
So it's great because you can like go to the front, but then you basically have to do one mission at a time, which is really not bad. But it's a little bit, it feels like I'm having to work against the system to do what I want to do, which is just like once I've unlocked those 4 missions, I just want to be able to pick the ones that I like the best and just play them.
Right.
Which I mean, I guess you can, but I don't know. Maybe the continues aren't a big deal because if you look at them in like siloed situations, like if I just want to play this chapter because I thought it was really fun, no spoilers, but there's a mission with a boat. That boat mission was interesting. So like if I want to go back and play that boat mission, I could go back and play the boat mission and just play that. And then doesn't matter if I have continues because it's just that one mission I'm playing anyway. And I just keep starting that one over. So I guess in a way it's fine, but playing the full chain though, you just get 3. So if it just gets harder and harder to run through, I don't know, I guess it's okay. But the thing that concerned me most about it is that like in Left 4 Dead, and then World War Z, which I'm going to use as a comparison as well. World War Z also had like 4 chapters. Well, in essence, 4 locations. Yeah. And in it is broken up into like, I don't know, 3 or 4 missions or whatever it was. But with the fact that there's now 8 here, and like you said, like since there is 8 in an area that you're playing through or in an act, they could be like, okay, well, we're just going to give you 3 acts because that's 18 missions. Well, that's great, but not 18 missions. I did my math wrong. 8 times 3 is 24. 24 missions. That's great. However, that first act after the 4th one is so samey, and I'm like, I've been there, done that, and I've been in this environment. I want a new environment.
Yeah.
Whereas like playing Left 4 Dead 2, like you have that one mission where like there's a part where you go through like the corn stalks and stuff like that, and the hard rain, I think it was.
Yeah, hard rain.
Like running through the corn stalks, and you're like, oh my god, it's freaking crazy. To like the mall, which is totally different type of mission, to like Left 4 Dead 1, the airplane mission going through the airport. Like those are vastly different designs and layouts. This one, I felt like
they offer different challenges too.
They offer different challenges, yeah. This one, I didn't feel like there was that unique identity to this map until we got to that boat sequence. But the rest of it was just like, okay, I'm in some forest somewhere. I'm in some river ravine somewhere. Like there's no clear identities to these areas. Like that one time, when that's the second mission where we went to like New Orleans, I think it was, like in Left 4 Dead 2, I believe.
Yeah.
So like so much identity to each one of those missions. And this, I feel like, is missing some of that.
Right, yeah. Because at first, I was getting... Because I played on easy difficulty, which I think it's automatically set to that. So we started there, or I started there, and I was like blowing through these missions. Like I got through the first 3 missions like real fast.
Yeah.
I was playing with people, and eventually I was down to one guy. No, okay, I got to the 4th mission, the boat mission. I was like, man, these are going by super quick. And then I left that game and started a new one, and I went to the second, or like normal difficulty, and that was like significantly harder. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
So like I started to see how, you really got to look at your cards. Now you can there's I don't even know, like 18 guns or something, 20, 25 guns. Pistols included, and you can actually put attachments on them. So, trying to figure out the attachments, what works best, which gun is better than, gun A is better than gun B or whatever. Figuring all that out was interesting, but yeah, like you said, like it's just, there are aspects here that are cool, and I think Left 4 Dead needed that for sure, like especially mods on the guns, but I'm trying to figure out and try to remove myself from Left 4 Dead, because obviously we love that game so much. Like, what made that game so interesting? And I think one of the things is there's a lot of banter between the characters, and now they have multiple characters, which is fine, more than 4, but
it's not many more. It's like 6, right?
I don't remember how
many. I think there
was
like 6 characters or something.
Well, they were able to tell a story between these people, which kind of helped lighten the mood, or fuel some lore, not fuel some lore, but like give some lore, some background of these people.
8 characters, my bad.
And I think there wasn't a lot of that here.
Yeah, it was definitely less focused.
Yeah,
and
I do think the missions are like super short.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah,
obviously they get longer when you make it harder, because you got to be more careful. It's easier to shoot each other for sure.
I think that's by design then, because they're shorter, but it's longer overall. Because like technically still a campaign is the first game, like the campaign was like an hour. Now we're like, you're looking at 2.5 hours to be a campaign or an act in this. So they're shorter, but there's more of them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, but then it's like, do you want that? Because again, going back to the personality of the levels and stuff like that, it's definitely very different with this versus then.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about the weapons, though. You brought up the weapons, and that is one thing that there's a lot of things that they added a lot more stuff to this game, and it's like the question is it needed or is it good? It's like the original Left 4 Dead had like 6 weapons, 7 weapons, or whatever. You had like your assault rifles, you had your submachine guns, you had your shotguns, you had a sniper rifle, all that stuff. They do have the aim down sights in here. great. Very happy about that.
That was amazing.
Definitely need that.
Put the ACOG on a gun. You're just like, yeah.
Yeah, and having all the attachments and stuff like that is pretty cool. And there's a buy system in this game. So when you start out, where it used to be you just like pick up weapons off the ground, you now still pick up weapons, but as you progress, you're not picking up weapons anymore. There's like loot, there's like ammo stashes and like chests you can open up throughout the levels that can give you like special advanced items. And there's like a rarity tier system to this as well, where you have like your common, your uncommon, your epic, and your legendary type of like attachments and weapons. But as you're going through, you get copper as your currency that you collect throughout the world that will be used to purchase upgrades and enhancements. So you can purchase new guns at every safe house. Purchase new guns, purchase new attachments for the guns you have, or get new guns with new attachments. Purchase your different equipment pieces. So you have like your health equipment item. You have your throwable, and then you have a utility item that's either like a stun gun or the defibrillator or there's a couple other ones in there. Do you remember what those are?
I don't. Not right now. Sorry,
one thing that I wish they did when you're buying this stuff, the way they have all the equipment at the bottom in like one big grouping, and they don't clearly define which one goes for which slot. You just have to hover over each one to see where it highlights on the side. I'm like, after a little bit, you get used to like where the divide is, but they should just like put a little bit of space between.
Yeah, because I bought the two things and like I couldn't carry one of those things, so it dropped. I'm like, I just wasted copper. Yeah. But I mean, it's early game stuff. You figure it out, I guess.
Yeah, it's just a little like that's an easy fix to just put a little space between the groups.
Yeah,
and you solve the problem. But they didn't do that, so I don't know. But yeah, and there's like also things you can purchase that are like buffs for your whole team, which is kind of cool. So you can unlock an ability to level up all the shop items to level 2 for medical equipment or for attachments or whatever it might be, and that benefits your whole entire team as you're progressing through. So there's some neat things like that. So there's a lot of more complexities to the weapon system, and the different attachments definitely make a big difference as you're playing through the game, to just make you better and hopefully deal a lot more crazy damage.
Yeah, and I will say, like, from where I started, like I started playing for about an hour, and then I just stopped playing it. And eventually I went back, and I had you and Josh came in, and it was a little more. But by the time we finished the closed beta, I left with, better regards for the game than when I started.
Yeah.
So that's good. I want to get through that whole first act because we never got to finish it. And, hopefully I walk away with something more positive than I am now. But
yeah.
I mean, there's good things here, but obviously it can't be Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead was so, precise, unique, and I mean, it wasn't super complicated. You just run around and there are little, what was the zombie controller thing called?
The AI director.
Yeah, the AI director.
Whatever. Yeah.
Like that was just so awesome. Like you sit around too long and zombies will come. I mean, that still happens here, but maybe we should jump into
let's talk
unique
about that.
Zombies.
The uniques of the specials, and then the just the zombie generation general. Like, I don't know. I kind of argue that there is no director in this game. So I feel like something's fucked up with the way that these zombies come out. Like,
you think so?
It's broken. Yeah.
How so?
Well, like that. So there's this one moment where me, Austin, and our friend Josh, a friend of the community, PvP in the Discord channel, we were all playing together, and we're in this little like entrapment. Like, we dropped down into this like little area where I think there was like cars or like trucks or all the different things, and there's another like ramp up to get out. But if you go up out that place, you can't come back. So we drop in there and we get hit. We get hit by these I forget the name of the special zombie, but they have a big ass arm that they just use to like pulverize you with their left arm and like hit you in the face. So you think you drop in there, like you expect like you hear the tank music, like it's coming after you, it's going to come and kill you or whatever. That's to be expected. Well, in this, you get one of them and then a second one. And then we were taking those guys down, and then a third one spawns, and then a fourth one spawns, and I think we eventually got like 6 of these fuckers coming after us at the same damn time. This little tiny alcove. It's like no getting away from that.
Yeah. So I think for that, I think they keep coming. You just have to jump over to the next area and they'll stop.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe you're right.
Because I played that before.
Probably should have just ran.
Yeah, so I played that mission before, and I had jumped over, but my friends were stuck, and there was a bunch of zombies on the other side. So I got killed by them, and then this time they wouldn't stop coming. Now maybe it is broken. I don't know.
Yeah,
I never got farther than that. So
I mean, that's fair. I mean, we had one guy that like was yelling at us and rage quitted because we weren't moving enough. So I guess this game is meant. I mean, I guess Left 4 Dead was that way too. It's like you technically you should speed run through most of it because you don't want to get swarmed like crazy, like amounts of zombies and stuff like that. So if you stop and slow down,
you really wanted to get through because you never know when that horde's coming.
Right, yeah.
Or tank with the horde.
But sometimes just like, in that area specifically, so there's these locked doors that they have throughout the game that like will be randomly located different parts. There's like designated areas that they could be. And if you have one of the utility items I was talking about earlier is a toolkit. And if you have the toolkit equipped, you can go up to this door and unlock it, and inside there is like a shit ton of ammo, a shit ton of attachments, health, like all the things you need to advance forward easier. So if you have something like I feel like you always should have a toolkit on you and your team so that you can open those doors because they will help you progress further and stuff like that. So I was trying to get one of those, and then I was looking around trying to like find gear and things, and then we just got bum rushed, and the guy had already ran away from us and just gave up on us, and we all died.
Good on him.
Yeah.
I will say
that guy.
Well, the moment we're just talking about in this little controlled area with all the elites coming at us, like that was the first oh shit moment I've had, I think. Because, in Left 4 Dead, I always remember us playing and they'd be like, oh shit, here comes the tank, oh shit. And like, we're freaking out and here comes the horde and all this stuff's going on. And it wasn't until that moment where it's like, oh, okay, the specials are actually a threat. Because most of the specials are not a threat, I feel like. Like there's a one who will jump up on the wall and shoot sticky stuff at you until you get stuck in place and someone has to come over there and bash you. And then you have the big, tall guy with a giant arm who'll come, and he's fairly slow, but he can kind of he can move pretty quick when it counts. And he'll throw his arm at you and smash you or pick you up. And then there's the one guy that's like a boomer, but instead of attracting zombies, he spits acid out of his head, and or if he gets too close to you, he'll explode. And then there's the one that's kind of like a witch, I guess.
Here, I'll read
it's
off
on
the
wall
real quick.
Okay, thank you. Here.
So we have the Hawker, spits the substance out of its depths of its throat, which immobilizes players, making it impossible for them to move until assisted by another player. This is similar to those available for the Smoker and Jockey in Left 4 Dead, and it takes control away from the player until they can help. But the Hawker can also provide to be more threatening given its extra pair of arms, which allow it to jump between walls and stick to vertical surfaces. And then the Snitch is will alert an entire horde of zombies to your position. So if you take care of them before it happens, they shouldn't be much of an issue.
Yeah, those are the ones that hang on the wall. They're like half a person.
Yeah.
And they'll jump on you.
Yeah. And then there's the Ogre, who is like the tank. They throw projectiles, have tons of health, and are very large. That's a big-ass guy that comes after you. Then there's the Wretch that spits corrosive acid that deals damage to players and alerts zombies to the location, whoever comes into contact with that acid. So it's kind of like the Boomer. And then finally the Bruiser, which is a large character that charges towards people at full force with a big-ass arm. And that'll take substantial damage to you and knock you back significantly.
And they've sent more than one or two at us at a time, but I never felt like it was something we couldn't handle.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe a few times.
Most of the time when they come out, that is one thing that I don't like. It's like in the last game, like the Boomer was like, you hear the Boomer, you know it's coming. It's like super easy, but you gotta be careful when you shoot it. That was like the specialty with that one. The Hunter was great because it would just like automatically just come out of nowhere and just pounce somebody. And you're like, oh fuck. And if you got a horde, like it's a pain in the ass. Jockey, same deal, would just like pull people away, and you may not know until it's too late. And then what was the other one? The spitter?
The Smoker.
smoker. Yeah, that would pull you in.
Yeah.
There was a spitter too that came in Left 4 Dead 2. That was the one that just spit shit at you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I forgot there was that many specials in the last game. So they haven't really done anything except for just change up the names and change them up a little bit. But
yeah,
I feel like these ones aren't as like strategic.
Yeah, they're not as strategic. They're not as threatening.
Yeah. It's like, most of them, except for the big bruiser guy, I feel like are easy to destroy.
Yeah.
And aren't
causing
I feel like
issues. The bruiser's easy to destroy. That's the thing. Like every time the bruiser come in, they'll be like, aim for his head. And like I aim for his head, but the thing that gets me is like he should be moving his head more, so it's harder to kill him.
Yeah.
And he's just charging you, looking at you. You know, he doesn't even like block his head or anything. I think that would be nice. Like puts his not gigantic arm up, or maybe he charged with his arm. I don't know. So he has like blocking his head, like blocking his weak points. I don't know. I mean, he does have quite a bit of health, so that kind of has. I don't know. It just wasn't. I felt like it was too easy to kill all of the specials, especially the spitter one. Yeah. Like he would just run around. You could shoot him from afar, and even though you weren't shooting his weak points because he'd always have his back turned to you, it's just like, well, you're nothing.
Yeah, I definitely. I don't feel the stress and anxiety as much as I did in Left 4 Dead 2 with the special zombies. Like the witch, there's no equivalent of the witch. I mean, they have these little ravens that like sit around in different places. That is basically the equivalent of the witch now, where it's just like ravens that are like eating at things, and if you shoot around them, they'll like jump away and like create a zombie horde coming after you. But it's not like the witch that used to like jump up and like come and chase after you and like try and slash your face and kill you.
Yeah.
And the tank, like the bruiser isn't the equivalent of a tank, and the ogre, I feel like because it's so freaking big, it doesn't feel as, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as threatening. It's so scripted too, at least so far. Like in the first act, like you always know where it's coming. Whereas the tank, it was always random, and sometimes you get multiple tanks in a game. And this one, like there's a specific spot the ogre comes, you shoot it a bunch until it digs into the ground again, and then it comes again at a later time, and you kill it. And that's it. So I'm like, I mean, it's a cool set piece the first time, but after that, I'm like, okay, let's just try and get around this guy.
Yeah. Because I remember playing a mod for, it's the same with Left 4 Dead generally, like there's no restarts, right?
Yeah.
So you get to a point where it's super hard, like you die and you come back and you have to start the whole level all over again, which is fine at the checkpoint or at the safe house. And I was like, man, that's good enough, because you could play 2 or 3 times and not make it through a level, and then eventually, like maybe the 4th or 5th time, like you actually succeed. And you're like, fuck yeah, like we completed this. Like that was cool.
Satisfaction.
Yeah. And this doesn't have it.
Yeah.
You either get through a level or you don't, and then eventually you get to start all over again. It's just like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but I mean, they're trying to add a challenge. I wish that was something more. Maybe in the full release that won't be there. Maybe they're just trying to show like what they have. Yeah, I could see that being something for if you're playing on hard, you want that challenge.
Yeah.
Like that would be fine, but I don't know. Let's see how many acts they actually have.
You played on the medium difficulty, right?
I did.
Did we play on the medium difficulty?
No, we played on
easy one.
Easy, yeah.
I heard that the difficulty scaling is like real bad. Like what we played on easy was pretty easy for the most part. There were some parts where it was a little intense, but it was very easy.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the medium one, I hear it's like feels like it's hard mode, not medium mode.
It feels like hard mode,
which I think is another broken piece that they need to fix. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like my overall like impressions of this beta right now is it's enough of what I wanted, because I wanted a new modern Left 4 Dead, and that's what this is. But it's not it doesn't feel like it's a 2021 modern Left 4 Dead. There's some systems in here that I feel like need some work, and the gameplay itself, although it's engaging, doesn't feel as innovative or exciting that I expect a Left 4 Dead 3 to feel like. Like I was looking for, hell yes, this is exactly what I was looking for, and this is like, cool, this will hold me over. Like kind of,
yeah, it's lukewarm.
Idea.
Lukewarm. And maybe everything is fighting against these guys because they're the creators of Left 4 Dead, or some of the creators of Left 4 Dead, some of the devs that created Left 4 Dead, and everyone's expecting a Left 4 Dead feel. And, maybe they just can't deliver that to us for whatever reason. Like I said, there's legal things that you have to make something different enough where it's not the same, so you don't get sued. But I mean, we have all these high expectations, and they can't create Left 4 Dead, like a true Left 4 Dead 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe they already have a severe disadvantage in trying to create something for us. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that I think is a disappointment is that this is a $60 game. And I like it. This game is great, but if I remember correctly, I think Left 4 Dead came out. Well, no, it came out at full price, but the thing that brought it up is that Steam discounted the shit out of it. And that was like the start of Steam discounts. Like Left 4 Dead 1 was like the initiation of this formula works for us. And I think they dropped it to like half price or something. And we're like, get it this week for half price. And everybody bought it. And then suddenly it like skyrocketed. Kind of like what Rocket League did, with PS Plus. It's like they brought it out for free. Bam. And now they're like making a shit ton off that game.
Yeah.
This should not be $60. This should be like $40.
Yeah.
And this would be a killer deal. World War Z was $40, and it was great. I mean, it wasn't amazing, but it was like it was fun.
We bought it.
We played, yeah.
So now we're dealing with: do we really want to buy this game for $60? Like, who's gonna get this? Like, we already talked to people on Discord, and they're like, they don't want to. If there was $60, if it was a $40 game, they'd buy it for sure.
Yeah,
but it's not. We might buy it just to play through it and see how far we get. And then give a review of the full thing and see what's changed and whatnot. But I mean, that's us. It's kind of like required, right? But we can't get everyone on Discord to get this. I mean, we can't convince everyone on Discord to get this.
But wait.
There's more?
But wait. Day one, Back 4 Blood, Xbox Game Pass. On PC.
No way.
Confirmed. You don't pay for it. Just get Game Pass.
Get Game Pass. $10. Hell yeah. All right. I take back everything I said. But still, I mean, that's still a lingering question.
Yeah.
Some people don't get Game Pass.
This is a necessity. Because at least you have a Game Pass, you can get it, pay $15, or get the free deal if you haven't bought Game Pass and try it out and play it. At least there's that. So that's a big deal for me, I think.
That's true.
I don't get to play it on Steam, but it's fine. I mean, it's Game Pass. It's great. I'm happy to get it for free. Or for no extra cost.
Yeah. Okay. That works. All right. So you'll get our full review here without being pissed off we paid $60.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That would just.
And those that are listening, if you have Game Pass, you don't have to drop $60 and be disappointed. Right now the reviews are mixed on Steam, so
Are they? Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. Anyway, but there it is. Take it what it is.
Back 4 Blood.
It's definitely not the Left 4 Dead we were wanting.
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead 3.
But it's cool. But it's not exactly there. Yeah. But October 12th, full game will be out. All that good stuff.